You told me your airplane story, but I didn't know you hit the stop sign with the plane.
Yeah. I had 6 airplanes, Jack. Down there south of town, fixing to take off on the highway. He said, "Oh, don't worry about him." He said, "That's old Whittenburg."
Today, I have got the legendary Claude Wittenberg from Hennessy. And now, Claude, you're not
From Whiteface, Texas.
Whiteface, Texas. Where's that?
West of Lubbock, 37 miles.
Wow. And how did you end up in Hennessy, Oklahoma?
A guy come by the drilling rig. I was working on the drilling rig in Andrews, Texas.
Okay.
And my wife was an Okie from Boswell. And she wanted to come home. And I went home from work that evening, and she was sitting on the doorstep crying. And I said, "What the hell is the matter?" And she said, "Oh, these kids is about to run me crazy." Well, she had a brother and a sister there that had 9 kids. And I had a brother and sister-in-law there that had 8 kids.
Oh my gosh.
And every evening when the bus run, well, they dumped them off at our house, and my wife had to watch them. She said she was tired of doing that she wanted to go to Oklahoma. And I said, "Well, how long will it take you to get your bags packed?" And she said, "Oh, about 30 minutes. And I said, "Okay." I had 2 old cars, and one of them wasn't too good, had the transmission out of it, and I just took me a tow bar to it, put all my stuff in the car, and to Oklahoma we come.
And when was that?
It was in 1960.
Okay, 1960.
1960.
Yeah.
In fact, it was in August of 1960. And I come here and backed my trailer house in down here at Sundown Camp and went to work the next morning on a drilling rig. And the driller lived right next door to me, and that's the first thing he done was come running over and want to know if I had a job. And I said, "No." And I said I hadn't even looked for one. And he said, "Okay." He said, "You want to go to work in the morning?" I said, "Well, sure." And he said, "Well, I work for Noble Drilling Company, and we work right here north of town on Ernest Matusik's farm."
All right.
And said, "We are just now rigging up and getting ready to drill." So I said, "Okay, I'll take it." I went to work there, and I worked 3 or 4 years for him, and then the tool pusher gave me a little bit of trouble, and I had to whoop him, and so I left there, and we've been breaking out water lines all night long, and we had a fire built, hadn't had any supper or anything. And he come screaming over the hill, and he was one of them loudmouth hollering bosses. And he jumped out of his car and picked up a pipe wrench and throwed it at me and said, "Get up, you lazy SOB, and put that line together." And we hadn't stopped all night. That's the kind that we worked for back then.
Yep.
And you don't do that today. You couldn't find enough roughnecks in the country to put up with that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But anyhow, I worked him over and then got in his car and drove it up to the drilling rig. And the boss said, "Claude," said, "you gonna get us all fired?" I said, "No, you ain't gonna get me fired." I said, "I quit just about 15 minutes ago."
There you go.
And so I went to the house, and I'd put in an application for coke oil and refining, which was Rock Island back then.
Yep.
And they called me that night, and I went to work the next morning.
That was like, that was in full-on boom
Yep.
period in
Yep.
the 60s.
It was
wasn't
boomed, yeah.
Yep.
you could go to work anywhere you wanted to.
Wow.
And it was really something. And I'd done that for, about 4 or 5 years, and got into trouble with the boss, and I had to work him over.
This sounds like a trend.
Yep. Yeah. And he was a great big man. He didn't like to be whooped by a little fellow like me. But anyhow, he took it and went on. And I went into the oil field chemical business then, started making my own chemical, and I made a paraffin solvent that will take care of the paraffin down these wells that we've got. And there's a special need for that. There never had been one made. And mine was explosive, and everybody was scared of it, but I done it myself, and so I knew how to do it. And I done that for about 4 or 5 years, and then everybody said, Claude, why don't you go in the dozer and dump truck business? And I said, okay. I said, where do I start? He said, you got a job this quick as you get here with some trucks and stuff. So I went to Dallas, and I bought 4 little Dodge trucks off of the state of Texas. They were little dump trucks. And I come back up here and went to work, bought me an old loader at the auction in Oklahoma City to load the shale with. And I started hauling shale, and about that time we had a flood, and that was in about, the early 70s.
Okay.
And so I went to work building roads and locations for drilling sites, and we had a flood along that about then, and I had to build roads through lakes out at Lacey, and I built several of them. Built through the water.
Wow.
The dump trucks was down in the water.
Yeah.
And when we started, and so we got going on that and done that till 1983.
That's about when I met you. I think it was
Yep.
in the early 80s.
Yeah. First off, me and my dad and my brothers farmed 1,900 acres, row crop farmed, cotton and milo, and with 3 old John Deere tractors, and sat by the fire at Christmas time and by the pot-bellied stove, and Mama parched peanuts and popcorn, and that was Christmas. That was a good deal. And people don't realize that didn't grow up that way. They don't know what it all was. It was gorgeous, and I enjoyed it. And I had the best old mama and daddy that there was. I left the farm in 1956 and went to the oil field, or went to town and went to work in service stations. And I ended up managing one. I couldn't get loose from it. I worked a long time there, and then after that was when I went to the drilling rigs.
So at what point did you get really big? Because you had, I mean, Wittenberg Construction was a big company.
Yeah, I had 32 trucks, and 64 employees, and 4 bulldozers, and 2 motor graders, 2 earth scrapers, and then later on, I took on well servicing rigs. I bought 2 brand new ones out.
Oh, I didn't even know that part.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I bought 2 brand new ones out
And then
of Tulsa.
at some point you had 2 airplanes.
I had 6 airplanes, Jack. Yep.
You were kind of a big deal.
I went to Enid and got my pilot's license in 1969.
Right.
And I bought my first airplane off of the school that I was going to, and that, I don't think that helped me. I thought maybe it might help me to get my license, but it didn't. But anyhow, I got my license and flew a lot. I flew to Dallas and Denver and big town in New Mexico. on I-40.
Albuquerque?
Albuquerque.
Yeah.
I done business in Tulsa, and Oklahoma City, and all of them places.
Wow.
Dealing with the oil companies.
Yep.
And that's why I had them airplanes.
Wow.
I could just get in it and go when I wanted to.
And you flew them all?
I flew them myself.
Yourself?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I was my own pilot.
Wow. And then Penn Square Bank failed.
Penn Square Bank failed, and Jack, I wrote off $8 million in Penn Square Bank. Never recovered a penny of it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was doing business with 11 oil companies involved in Penn Square Bank.
Yep. Wow. I remember, you know, I worked for Floyd Harden.
Yeah.
And you guys were friends.
Yeah.
And we did a
We
lot
was partners to start with.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Really? Just
Yeah.
so, my question was that are you, Floyd Harden and Wendy Martin, did you all show up at the same time?
About that.
About
around,
that? Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember who was here first?
I think I come here first.
Okay.
And then Monday, and then Floyd come,
Okay.
and I forget now what year it was, but
Okay.
I knew him and talked him into coming up here, and he did.
Yeah. Floyd was in Duncan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Him and Gail got married in Duncan.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So
she worked in a little hamburger joint.
yeah, she
drive-in.
started Gail's Grill.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, all of that happened in that '60s period. And
Yeah.
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 So I remember, you know, we interacted a lot because you were out with Floyd, and
Yeah.
I think Floyd bought a truck from you that I drove,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know, you were the big dog in
Yeah.
the oil field construction business.
Yeah.
And I remember your auction in the '80s
Yeah.
when you had your whole yard full of all of your equipment, and you
Yeah.
landed your airplane on the highway.
Yep. Landed it on the highway and I hit a stop sign. I sent the boys out there to measure that road, make sure I could get that airplane in there, and they measured it, but they didn't measure. They measured for the little airplane. They thought I was going to fly the little one, and I was flying the big one.
Oh, geez. So did it wreck the plane?
No, just tore the light off of it,
Oh,
the
wow.
headlights.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
So what, did the highway patrol close the road? And
Yeah, he did after that.
Oh.
They said there's a crazy bastard down there south of town fixing to take off on the highway. He said, "Oh, don't worry about him." He said, "That's old Whittenburg."
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was the way it was handled.
I remember them sitting in the yard.
Yeah.
With the auction and everything.
Yeah.
Thinking, how do they get those in there?
I had a brand new twin engine
Yep.
sitting there. Yeah. I
Wow.
flew that thing everywhere.
And so, you had built a pretty significant car collection.
Yeah.
You had like 50 cars or something?
Yeah. Started in 1964 collecting them. Bought my first one at Altus, Oklahoma.
And what was it?
It was a 29 Chevrolet truck.
I got to tell you, Claude is like the most knowledgeable car guy I know.
Well, thank you.
We were in Kingfisher last year,
Yeah.
and there was a really nice 60s, 50s model Chevrolet that you and I were looking at.
Yeah.
And I said, well, that's a really nice car. And he says, that's not accurate. He says, it was something about the chrome trim wasn't the
Yeah.
right trim for that
No,
model year and everything. And I thought, there's Claude, he knows his
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, I did.
Yep. So why did you start collecting cars?
It was just something I always liked. I liked old cars.
Yep.
I just wanted to have me a hobby,
Yeah.
and that was my hobby.
Wow.
Them
And
old
so
cars.
what of all of those was probably your favorite one?
The 55 Chevrolet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was black and white. It was a beautiful car, and she's seen it.
Yeah.
I know she did. But
Well, I remember going over there and you had them all lined up in that barn,
yep,
and they were just perfectly lined up, and car after car, and
yeah,
yeah.
it was Pontiac, Chevrolet, Buicks, Cadillacs, Packards.
Yep.
There was everything
No
in
foreign
there.
cars.
No foreign cars. I didn't like them.
Yep. And then you were telling me that a car you have right now, you had bought sight unseen. Is it the DeSoto?
Packard.
A Packard. Okay.
A lot of people ain't never seen a Packard.
Yeah.
But I've got the prettiest one in the country.
And how did you find out about it?
I found it in a magazine
Okay.
and bought it sight unseen, and they delivered it.
Oh, no kidding.
Unloaded it right in front of my house.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that is pretty amazing. So, and then so after that, you became Kingfisher County Commissioner.
That's
District
correct.
2, was it District 2?
District 2.
District 2 County Commissioner.
Yeah, for 5 years.
Wow.
I finished Bill Lytle's
That's right. Yes.
term, and then.
Oh, and that was during the controversial lawsuits. And
Yeah.
Bill went to jail.
Well, they was jailing a bunch of them county commissioners
Yeah.
for kickbacks and
Yep.
stuff, and they was guilty, Jack.
Wow.
A lot of people don't know that, but they wasn't guilty. It was the higher ups in the transportation department that was the one that was stealing everything.
Wow. That's bad.
So,
And I
it's
bought
sad. That's a sad deal.
I bought Bill Lytle's house.
Oh yeah,
I guess it had been foreclosed on, and
yeah.
I ended up buying it. And wow, that's pretty crazy. So any other than getting in fights all of the time, is there any memorable stories? Is there a single story that sticks out during your construction period when you had all the employees and everything? Was there a really big job or anything like that really stuck out?
Well, the best job I done was right before I quit, and I built a location for a drilling rig on the side of a mountain over here by Tulsa. And they didn't come in one day, and I asked Peggy, my secretary, Peggy Bush, I asked her, I said, Peggy, did them people ever pay for that location? And she said, no, Claude, they didn't. And so I got in the pickup and drove over there, and they tore that location all to pieces, and I mean, completely ruined it, and moved out. And I called their telephone number in Tulsa to their main office, and it was turned off. And so I got to checking, and they had took bankruptcy.
So this was the beginning of the crash.
Yeah.
Wow.
And there was some deal. I bid that job for $28,000, and I had to sign a contract with them to make them agree to make it hold the drilling rig when they moved it in there. And about the time I got through with the location, it started raining. And it rained and rained and rained, and I had to rock it to make it hold. Well, I bought $28,000 worth of rock.
Oh my God.
And then, well, I just lost it all, you know. The rock, the price of the location, and I had a lot of that go on, Jack.
Yep.
There was a bunch of it.
Yep. No, I remember going through that with, well, I was working for Floyd during that time.
Yeah.
And so I remember going through all of that. Then, you know, everybody was in lawsuits and going to court and trying to recover their money, and very few did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But didn't hardly anybody get their money.
Yep. Wow.
That was pretty
crazy.
bad.
Yep. So in the cars, what cars do you have left? I know you've gotten rid of the majority of them, but you still have
I've got
some.
a 55 Packard.
Yep.
And a 55 Studebaker Speedster.
That turquoise colored one?
No,
Is
the Packard's red and white.
But I mean the Studebaker.
The Studebaker is black and white.
Oh, I must have thinking the wrong one.
No, yeah, I have a blue Studebaker.
Okay, all right.
And I've got a 57 Dodge that I've had forever.
All right.
I bought it off a little old lady in Fremont, Nebraska. And she come out there, she seen me out there looking at it. I never will forget this. I got to tell you this story.
Okay, go ahead.
And she seen me out there looking at it. And she come down the steps and come out there, and she was about 90. And she said, honey, said, what are you going to do with that car if you get it bought? I said, I'm not going to do nothing with it. Just play with it and drive it, enjoy it. She said, oh, okay. Said, I'll sell it to you then. Said, I thought maybe you'd one of them guys. Said, you're a young fella. Said, I thought maybe you'd one of them guys that was going to put big fat wheels and tires on it and a big fat motor. And I said, no, ma'am. That's the last thing that'll happen.
Wow.
So I've still got that one, and I gave it to Mackenzie, my granddaughter. She always loved it.
Wow.
And I've got a 49 Dodge truck, a little 3/4 ton, which is very unusual. Most of them was 1 tons and bigger.
Yep.
But that one there it's an unusual truck. And I've got, let's see, a 53 Studebaker pickup that I've had ever since, well, I bought it in Duncan, Oklahoma.
Oh, so
A long time ago.
Almost new.
Yeah, it was nearly new.
Wow.
And I followed this old gentleman past me on the highway, and I thought, boy, that's a nice pickup. And so I followed him into town, and he stopped at a little old garage south of Duncan. And he had 2 sons, and they owned this garage. One of them had a body shop in one end of it, and the other had a mechanical shop in the other end. And so I stopped and got to visiting with him, and I said, I forget now what his name was. I said, "Do you want to sell that pickup?" And about that time, one of his sons walked up, and he said, "No," said, "I don't." And this boy said, "Now, Dad," said, "they told you they was fixing to come get your driver's license. Said, you better sell this young man this pickup." And so he did. And I left it there and got new brakes put on it and got it tuned up, and I don't know what all.
And which one
And
is
I've
that?
still, the little blue Studebaker
The blue
pickup.
one, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've still got it. I've had it 60, let's see, I bought that in about 62 or 4. So I've had it many, many years.
Well, we always know when you're uptown because there's something unusual parked in front of wherever you are.
Yeah.
And it's fun that you're still driving them.
I enjoy them.
How old are you now, Claude?
88.
Wow. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
That is so cool that you're still enjoying your cars. And
I'm still enjoying life.
very, very neat. Now there's a photo I caught of you not long ago. You have your side-by-side hooked onto the front of your tractor, and you're driving down the alley. What's the story with that?
Well, I was taking it down there to get it worked on, and it wouldn't start. It was all electric, and the transmission was electric, and everything in it. And so I had to pick it up and get it out of the shop and take it down to that garage to get it worked on. And
now, most normal people would have put it on a trailer and pulled it.
Yeah, and I had a trailer.
Yeah, but that was easier. Just hook onto it and drag
it was easier for me to pick it up with a tractor. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Yep.
Yep.
Never a dull moment with Claude around.
No, there never was.
Yeah.
I always had a way of doing.
Absolutely love it. Claude, it has been so much fun learning your backstory and.
Oh, Jack, you can't believe where I've been
and
stuff I've done.
We're going to do a long version of this someday because I want to really just sit with you and go really deep into some of these big adventures that you've been on. But
I've had to fight my way out of bars and out of football games and everything in the world.
Did you ever go to jail?
Nope.
Never? Okay, good. Very good.
Never did.
Yeah, okay.
Always had plenty of bail money in my pocket. That's the reason I didn't go.
Yep, good. You knew the sheriff and you had bail money.
I had bail money.
Yep.
That's all it takes. That's all they wanted was money.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Claude, thank you so much for hanging out.
Oh boy, Jack,
We love it.
I like to go through the past. I've been there and done that, and I've had a good life.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. That's the Claude Wittenberg story. Stay tuned.